Hello folks, today we're going to do our split image. I have a sketch already and I just wanted to walk you through some of the steps. I'll show you how to make the border and then I'll talk about dividing the paper and then some possible techniques you can use to fill in your positive and your negative space. First thing let's do is let's get a border on there. So I have my piece of 9 by 12 paper. I can end up with it vertical or horizontal, it's up to me. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to lay it against the edge of my paper and at the 1/2 inch mark, so halfway between two of those big numbers, I'll make a mark. So in between, in this case, the 10 and the 11, I'll make a mark. And I'm going to rotate my paper and do the same thing on all 4 sides. Halfway between those two big numbers on that tall line, make a little mark on my paper. Same thing here, halfway between the big numbers on all 4 sides. So what you're left with are just tiny little marks in the corner. Right there, hopefully you can see that. Let's try this camera too. Tiny little marks in the corner. Okay, now I can connect them. And what I like to do is just start a 1/2 inch in, like that, so I don't end up with corners that cross each other. You could have corners that cross each other. This is my personal preference. I like it to look a little cleaner, so I'm going to start a 1/2 inch in, and then I'm going to go up to where I made that mark. Again, it's fine if you go edge to edge. And if you end up with a little box, I'll show you what I mean. I'll do this next one, edge to edge. And then same thing here, edge to edge. And you can end up with this little overlapping box. Some people really like it. If you don't like it, you can just take your eraser and erase those overlaps. Either way, I'll erase my little marks on the corner all the way around. Okay, next thing I need to do is sketch my image. Now the examples in the assignment are all plants. That's just because that's all that I found. Once we have your examples, I can provide them for students later on and we can see the wonderful things that you guys do. In the meantime, let's go ahead and think of something we could do that we could split. It could be a plant, absolutely. It could be an animal, it could be a face, it could be a character from a TV show. What could be neat if we have half of it in detail and half of it as a silhouette or the negative space? I'm gonna let you think about that. For this one, I decided to do a strawberry. Don't ask me why, just sounded like fun. So I'm gonna sketch it inside of my border. It's okay if it goes out a little bit, that can be kind of a dramatic effect. And I want it to fill the space. Notice how big this is. I didn't make it teeny tiny and I didn't make it off to one side. It's important that we're able to divide it almost 50-50 and that it's nice and big and fills the space. Okay, when you have a drawing that you like, I'm going to cut it in half. So I can go from border to border or I can go from edge to edge. This paper is 9 inches wide, which means that halfway from the edge of the paper to the edge of the paper is 4.5 inches. Now, if I'm going from border to border, that's only going to be 4 inches. So pay attention to what you're measuring. I'm going to do it on the top. I'm going to do it on the bottom. So from edge to the paper is 9 inches, so half of that is 4.5. So halfway between the 4 and the 5. Again, if I'm doing it on the inside, just from the border to the border, that would be 4 inches. Could I go this way? Absolutely. That's up to you. If you'd like to do that, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and go vertically. So I'll lay my ruler down so it connects those two and go whoop. Okay. Yes, once again, you could do horizontal. That's fine. You could even do diagonal if you wanted to. I could divide it into quarters, which would actually be pretty cool. If I wanted to have this positive space, this positive space, this negative, that could be neat. You could do a wiggly line if you wanted, just giving you some opportunities to play around and get creative and make it your own. Now I get to decide which side I want to be positive space and which side I want to be negative. I think I'm going to make this the positive space, which means that I'm going to color in this half of my strawberry with lots of detail. Now I could do this with pencil, I could do it with colored pencil. Strawberries I wouldn't necessarily do charcoal, but you guys have some charcoal if you want to play around with that, or charcoal pencils. You can do it however you would like. So this fill in with a lot of detail. Whatever you do, take your time, do a good job. If it's pencil, add a lot of shading, dark spots and light spots, really fill it in. If it's colored pencil, same thing, add a lot of color, because we want that contrast to be obvious, that this is really real and present and detailed and has texture, and that this is the empty space. Okay, I'm going to color this in, and then I'm going to leave this white and fill the background in. So for me, I think I might do colored pencil. I'll fill this triangle in, excuse me, this strawberry, strawberry triangle, okay. This strawberry in with color, and then leave this white. I will leave this white and I will fill this in with a pure color. Okay, I will post my finished product and I hope you have fun with yours. See you soon.